Hey, this is Dr. Insaniac, and this is my movie review channel, which is the bestest since ever. Hey, did you guys see this movie called War in Space? It's called War in Space because it's kind of like Star Wars, but it's not. And so there's this guy, and he's the hero, and he comes back to Japan, and he finds out that his best friend is going to marry this pretty girl who really likes the hero guy and not the other guy. But then these aliens are landing all over the place, especially in Georgia, and then this space station blows up, and then everybody's confused about what's happening. And then the hero goes to this captain guy's house, and he tells him, "Hey man, there are these aliens all over the place, and we have to turn on the super spaceship." And the captain's like, "No, I don't want to do that, and I wish that you hadn't gone to NASA because my daughter, she really wanted to marry you." And then the captain gets a phone call, and he finds out that there was a scientist guy who died, and he was looking for he was looking for the aliens. And then the captain, and then the scientist who's supposed to be dead, he shows up and he says, "Hey, Captain Guy, we need you to start the super spaceship." And the captain says, "No, because the real scientist guy is left-handed." Ha ha ha. And then the other guys, they come in, and then the scientist guy was like, "Oh no," and he jumps out the window, and then he runs out into the yard and explodes because he's an alien. And then so they start fixing the space battleship, and then the aliens are all like, no, we don't want you to do that." And so they run inside and start shooting everybody. But then the number 2 guy, he was real smart, and he jumps out and he's all, "No, I'm going to shoot you guys." And so they take off all of these alien ships. When they take off, all the alien ships all go, "Oh, beep 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 beep," because that's how they make their lasers. And then they get to the space, and they're in space, and the hero guy gives Jimmy this telegram, and he says that his whole family died because they lived in New York where all the aliens were. And Jimmy walks away, and he's all real sad, and everyone's like, "Why is Jimmy so sad?" And then the number 2 guy tells the hero that he knows that he went to work at NASA so that he could marry the pretty girl, even though that the pretty girl really wanted to marry the hero guy instead. And he wanted to tell him that if he dies, he wants the hero guy to marry her instead. And the hero guy's like, okay. And then some aliens kidnap the pretty girl, and then they get a message from the bad guy whose name is General Hell, and he has this space Chewbacca, and they're keeping the pretty girl hostage, she's the captain's daughter. And they land on Venus where the bad guys are, and they can't get into the bad guy ship because there's this like force field thing. But Jimmy crashes his ship into the rock and then blows up, and then all the good guys can sneak into the ship then. And then this guy gets shot in the face, and all these bad guys keep jumping out of places, and everyone gets shot except the hero guy, and he gets caught. And then, but that's okay, because the pretty girl, she knows how to open the doors in the jail, and then they escape, and then they have to fight the space Chewbacca. But the hero keeps shooting space Chewbacca's sword for some reason. I don't know. And so he hit him with his space knife, and then space Chewbacca falls down real hard. And then the hero and the pretty girl get back to the ship, and the number 2 guy is so happy that she's safe, and then he explodes, and then the girl, she's like all sad about it. And so the super spaceship starts fighting with the bad guy's spaceship, and they're flying around and shooting and stuff, and the bad guy's ship has lasers and the oars that it shoots, and beep 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 beep, and then the super spaceship turns on the revolver beams, and it starts shooting the bad guy, and that's really cool. Oh, but then the super spaceship gets hurt, and then the captain tells everyone to go somewhere else and do something, and then he sneaks down into this special room that only he knows that it's there, and so he can turn on this super space bomb that's in the drill part of the ship, and he flies the drill to the bad guy's spaceship, and it blows up, and the super spaceship gets away, and then Venus explodes, and then that's the end. But then the hero guy is like, "Hey, did you know what your boyfriend told me to do if he died?" And the pretty girl was like, "Yeah, my dad and my boyfriend just died. Can we talk about it later?" And he was like, "Yeah, okay." So did you guys see this movie called War in Space? Because I saw this movie, and this movie was kind of awesome. I mean, the bad guy aliens are kind of dumb, except for Space Chewbacca. He was kind of cool. But I like this. I kind of like this movie, and I think it's a lot of fun, and I think you guys should see it too. Click the subscribe button because you know you want to. And remember to squish that like button. Squish it!